how long are you guys ready to go? You want to go for another hour or two? My communication staff are the great help here.
The communication staff was not happy about that.
They were probably like, no, we want to go to happy hour. We
but
never
the press
stay
was
this
obviously
late.
happy. You know, this was marking President Biden's first year in office. He was asked to reflect on how he's doing as president. And essentially, he did a lot of patting himself on the back. Listen.
How do you think that report card looks right now?
I think report cards can look pretty good if that's where we're at.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to come back to haunt him back to the midterms.
Yeah, the American people are not convinced. He said he doesn't look at polls, but according to Political Morning Consult poll, 37% of voters gave President Biden a failing grade. That's more than his A and B grades combined, Sean.
Yeah, and he's lost a lot of friends, even in the media. CNN's Van Jones, a big liberal, admitted that Biden is losing and losing it as well. Take a look.
I think it's have to be honest that you can be a foggy, meandering president, say like Reagan near the end, if you're winning. But if you're foggy and meandering on key questions and you're also not winning, then you've got a real problem.
Wow.
That's not good. That comes, by the way, as we watch Biden's approval rating, and that's what Van was talking about. The approval rating is tanking throughout the year, and that's exactly that idea that Van Jones is sitting there saying. And that's, by the way, not just among Republicans, which is expected, but it's also among people like Van Jones, those Democrats.
Yeah, and I can't say it's surprising that his approval rating is so low because Biden, the Harris agenda, really has failed on every front. They campaigned on getting COVID under control, and when asked about it earlier this morning, once again, Vice President Kamala Harris, well, she laughed.
In New Mexico, the National Guard is being asked to be substitute teachers, all because of COVID. So it is not under control.
So I'm going to try to unpack the various
Yeah, I know there's a lot,
you've
but
made. No.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about that.
No. Well, another campaign promise that has been broken is unifying the country. I mean, maybe he can start by not berating the press corps. Listen to this exchange.
Go back and read what I said. That is an interesting reading in English. I assume you got into journalism because you like to write.
Man, I don't mind him berating the press corps, by the way, but it's interesting. I mean, and the reporter was actually right. He did go after Republicans. He used those analogies. He just doesn't like it coming back at him. White House Jen Psaki, though, this morning had to jump in and clean up these comments, though, that President Biden made about illegitimate elections. Take a listen.
Imagine if those attempts to say that the count was not legit. You have to recount it, and we're not going to count. We're going to discard the following votes. I mean, sure, I'm not saying it's going to be legit.
I'm not saying it's going to be legit. That's what he said, right? She then tweeted this out. She said, POTUS wasn't casting doubt on the legitimacy of the 22 election. He was making the opposite point. In other words, don't take him at his word. He was just saying stuff. I'll tweet out what he means.
And Sean, Biden's agenda failed again last night. The Senate voted against Democrats' radical plan to nuke the filibuster in order to force their election power grab through Congress. And progressive Democrats are fed up with this amid the filibuster failures. A frustrated Senator Elizabeth Warren said this, quote, "We need to get as much as we can across the finish line, so we need to do what it takes to get every vote." I mean, pretty much here signaling that the election fight is, I would say, far from over.
It is, and we got to stay on guard, at least until we win back the House next November.
After the last election, liberty-minded Americans are facing a difficult question. What do we do now? We do have a plan to stop them. This is the only plan that bypasses Biden and Congress to save the republic. Sign the petition at conventionofstates.com.